Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to GSL Code S, the final day of the round of 16. Tastes on our toast here. How you doing today, man?
Pretty well.
That's good.
Oh, I'm joking. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, man. We had like one of the best games I've ever casted in StarCraft 2, even StarCraft 1 ever.
This whole
yesterday.
Round of 16 has been so good.
Even the round of 32 has
we
been
could
so
end
good.
the GSL Code S right now and just be like, all right, that's the end of Wings Liberty, and everyone would cheer on their
bomb
feet.
could hit the building, and we would everything be fine. All right, at least the games are good enough.
Well, no, I mean the
ceiling would kill us, but the games would have been good enough.
They were good. They were good. Yeah,
we'd be dead. That part would suck.
That part would suck. Yeah, like, I mean, I love
That's not a good
StarCraft.
sell
I love
the
the
dying
games,
part.
but I'm not ready yet for that.
We no, seriously, though, we've had amazing games, absolutely phenomenal games. This is the last Wings of Liberty tournament, basically ever. And after that, we're going to switch to Heart of the Swarm.
That's right, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But while we're at it, let's take a look at who advanced.
Yes.
We had yesterday Curious and MC advancing. The two players that gave us the best series of the day, Lucira and Gumiho, unfortunately both did not advance, probably in part to that 2-hour series.
Yeah, if you missed yesterday, we had, yeah, I think it was over 2 hours, actually. Insane series. Definitely check it out. But it looked like once they were done, they were just burnt out. It was just like the rest of the games from there. It was easy for MC, for instance, to overcome his opponent, and that was it.
Yeah, and as you see here in the screen, we did have the bracket there, as you saw. We have some really great matches coming up, and of course, we'll fill in the rest of that today and then refresh you on the full bracket at the end of the show.
Yeah. So, you know, one of the major players we've been talking about a lot in this tournament has been innovation. We have never seen anybody ever play StarCraft 2 as well as he is now.
It's basically the best play that we've seen so far, mechanically, multitasking, everything about it.
It's completely insane.
That's what a StarCraft 1 Kespeteran looks like.
That's what.
But he was playing StarCraft 2.
That's what Flash looked like in StarCraft 1. Obviously, Flash is good in StarCraft 2, but he's not at the same level that he was at in the previous game. In time, he'll probably catch up. Today's games: Life, Boom Boom, Parting, and Ro-Ro.
It's a sick lineup. Very Zerg heavy, but Parting is the Zerg killer. Can he get through this group? He has to face his nemesis, Life.
Yeah.
Can he end Life? Faceless. Can
I
he
don't
beat
know.
him?
He could. Life is phenomenal, though. Life is he's kind of a new age Zerg. He reminds me a lot of the Zergs in StarCraft 1, actually.
Yeah, he's like hyper aggressive.
Ling harass style.
Yeah, he makes things happen other Zergs can't yet.
Yeah.
Which is really, really fun to watch.
And you know, Boom Boom, I would say he's one of the dark horses here in round of 16. But you never know what to expect. We have upsets all the time. And new players are always rising up.
Yeah. Boom Boom had really solid play in the round of 32. Even got out first place in his group where we didn't expect him to do anything, probably last place. But he's in a group full of stacked players. Ro-Ro has been killing it in Pro League. He's been doing very well in GSL as well. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And it looks like we're going right into this now. Parting and Life. This could easily be a Code S Finals.
Yes, and in fact,
right
it was with the Blizzard Cup.
Let's take a closer look at these two players.
자, 언더 위치에 가면서 시작해야 되거든요. 자, 지금 뿌리면서 언덕이 없다.
Faceless.
Artosis.
All right. Parting is going to play today between 4 and 9 games. Give me the high and low on Immortal pushes. High amount of Immortal pushes in a 9-game series and low amount in a 4-game series.
I'd say high amount. I mean, it's going to depend on the maps and everything, but I would say, you know, high amount 4.
Okay, low amount?
I would say 3, actually. Does
So you think he's going to minimum 3 Immortal pushes, say? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest.
That's fair guess.
What about you?
I'm going minimum 1, believe it or not. I'm going to go minimum 1 because he's getting pretty predictable with that again. Maximum today, if he goes 9 games, I think he'll do maximum 4.
Okay.
That's my guess.
You know, it amazes me about Parting. He's just... It's like it doesn't matter if you had a map pack on and you saw what he was going to do, and he also told you exactly how he was going to do it.
Yeah.
The moment he's going to move out, he still will just get in there and actually kill you. So
that's true, but Life, you could probably take his eyes out with an ice cream scoop, and he could still sometimes stop Parting from doing that.
Once he's done screaming. No, man, this is going to be crazy good. And remember, I mean, this is really going to set the tempo for the entire group phase. Who wins, who loses.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, the other 2 guys in our group, Bung Bung and Roro, I mean, they're good, but they're not. I mean, I don't think they're in the same league as these 2. So it's going to be tough. You definitely do not want to go down to the losers here. You know, if you go down to the losers in that group, you're probably going to lose either Parting or Life.
I gotta agree, man. These 2 have the best arguments for being the best 2 players in the world.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are moments away from getting this going. Looks like we're going to be on the map Belshire Vestige. Life against Parting. Your predictions?
Life wins. 2-1.
I'm going to say Parting wins 2-1.
All right. Fair enough.
There we go.
Let's see. Life is, he's shown too much resilience, man. Like, I don't know how you actually beat Life in a series because he's like special in different ways. There's not even like something you can focus on because he's so perfect at everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's well-rounded enough that you have to find the perfect person to practice with, and to practice against beating Life, you'd probably want to be playing Life all the time.
Yeah, you know, I don't even know who you would play against to practice for him. Seriously, he can do absolutely anything and everything.
Yeah,
I guess the closest would be Leenock. That has to be, yeah, I think that's about as close as you can get to getting ready for Life.
All right, let's get this going. Game 1 of the final day of the round of 16 here at GSL. In the bottom right, we've got our Zerg player, a GSL champion, crushing MVP. He is...
Start Life.
And in the upper left, the world champion. No other introduction needed. He is...
SK Telecom T1 Parting.
It's going to be cool to see over time how joining SKT1 alters Parting as a player, because you got to look at it in a few different ways. Parting, we have a lot of foreigners here today, by the way.
We have a lot of
Cheers,
foreigners
guys.
Here. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
And if you guys at home are watching, you can actually come down to our studio. I get tweeted about this a lot, so I feel the need to actually bring it up periodically. But you can come in here. It's actually free. And you can actually pick up a headset if you leave some collateral at the front desk. You can actually hear our commentary.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if I was in the audience, I would give them my fake leg to hold while I was using it and hop in here. That would work out pretty well.
And I don't speak that language.
Caldor probably does.
Caldor probably does.
Those Europeans.
The Europeans, they
European
speak like
language.
5 or 6 languages.
As far as
I got English and, you know, some remedial Korean, and then I can do Pig Latin pretty well.
You are actually really surprisingly. Yeah, you're very good at Pig Latin. It's, I need you to.
Is they opre?
Lo se.
Ilwe I trade to stop. Pie. Ide atri he. Over ye ear he.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're out of control. So I want to talk for a moment about Parting and his new team, because it's interesting to see him, possibly the best Protoss in the world, possibly the best player in the world, join a Kespa team after being with ESF for so long, because the Kespa teams run differently. And eventually the ESF teams will probably run exactly like the Kespa teams, because the Kespa teams actually run in a better, more efficient way. They have a very regimented practice. It's not as much ladder. You know, it's just extremely regimented. I could go on for hours about how they actually train, but it's this unbelievably superior way, which has given Koreans over time a ridiculous advantage in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 as well. So to see if that's helped him yet, because when you switch over into a Kespa team, normally you see a dip in performance from anyone who does, because they're not used to that regimen, and it's hard, and it's like a stressful situation. You're with a new team, that type of thing. Also, we have to consider He was better than everyone on the team that he joined, basically. I guess Rain is up at his level, but you know, how much is he helping his lesser teammates, and how much is he helping himself by playing with the very best players in the world? Yeah. So that's something that can affect his performance as well. And those are all things that I'm wondering how that's going to affect him here today.
Well, you know, we'll see soon. Now, when the Cybernetics Core finishes, that's really what we're waiting for, because we want to see, is he going to do this Immortal push? There's essentially, well, there's just so much ambiguity up until that point. I mean, we can also check and see how many gases and how much gas is mining, but beyond that and building placement, you can't really discern much from the Protoss.
Very likely a Immortal push. Right now, it's either Stargate or Immortal push that we will be seeing. Notice there's no +1 yet. By the placement of that pylon on top of the ramp, it could be either one.
Yeah, well, that would be an ideal spot to park a Robo.
Yeah, certainly. And Parting always walls his ramp when he does the Robo push.
It's going to be a Robo. It's going to be a Robo!
Okay, this is probably going to be the Immortal push.
All right.
This is, so far, it's lined up perfectly to be
we got at least one of these, so you're...
All right,
we're both right so far.
Yeah,
you're
so
your minimum.
My low of 1.
I seriously think he'll probably do a lot of Robo pushes, though. Assuming he plays Zerg.
You're at a minimum of well, it's all Zergs in his group, so I guess he probably will, right?
But I mean, it depends on, like, you know, how many games he actually wins with the Robo push. You know what I'm saying? If he gets dragged out or something.
If it, and you got to consider your opponent too, like who's good at stopping Immortal pushes and who's not good at stopping them. You know, to do this against Life kind of makes sense because there's not as much time for Life to shave off advantages from his great overall play.
Know, one thing about actually doing a Robo push on this map is the third and the second are both very accessible, and they're an equal distance walk. So you can actually. I mean, this is where it becomes a big problem. I mean, if Zerg tries to split up the Spine Crawlers, he's in trouble. He'll probably just have to sacrifice the third base, because if you sack the second base, you lose the main, obviously.
I would say against Parting, you almost never want to try to hold the third, because how often are you actually going to hold the third? Something has to go extremely your way to make that work out.
Yeah, sure.
We do have a little bit of scouting going on. You know, that Overlord saw when the +1 attack started. So based upon when he saw that +1 attack start, Life right now knows that it's either going to be Stargate, which, you know, he has to wait for that 4 Phoenix timing, or the Immortal push. Like, very most likely, unless Parting's doing something extremely tricky, which he does do from time to time. And in fact, he has done before recently in the past few months, at least against Violet in the Blizzard Cup. But we'll see what how Life actually ends up dealing with this.
It's also important to note Life did not even check inside Parting's main. Which means he's probably just assuming this is going to come.
Yeah,
and, you know,
you're right.
In his mind, he's basically saying, all right, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and not lose that one Overlord.
That's fair.
Yeah, and we do have a Hydroden coming in here.
Yeah, and in fact, he went up higher in drones than you normally go against a 2-base timing push. Normally, you don't want to go above 62, and he popped up to about 66, and he's making some extra buildings that you don't normally see. But the map is longer, and you're right, he saved the Overlord. And these are little things you can do that can alter the numbers you can make. And what are we seeing here? A Twilight Council. So this is really weird. What?
It looks like he's going to make it look like he's doing the Immortal push and then just expand off of it, which is so smart.
Well, what he's doing right now, look at this, 16 Hydras on the way, as well as Hydra range. That is a huge investment. And if this actually isn't going all the way, this little push, then those Hydras aren't going to be very useful. What's he going to do, walk those across this long-ass map? He could kill it with probes by the time it gets there, those Hydras.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool. It's cool to see Parting actually closing this with a variation.
God, he's so clever.
Of this build. Oh, that was not a good force.
That was the worst force field ever, maybe.
All right.
He trapped the Lings, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he kills them all.
Well, you know what? Actually, to be fair, he has a probe at the third, so he may have wanted to trap those Lings. That is an actual possibility here.
Oh, that's a very good point.
And look at this, holding the high ground. Life actually was very well prepared for this, but it is a trick. It has been a trick. Parting, this is one thing he does so amazing well. He knows exactly how expected his builds are. So, by the way, we're still at 0 for Immortal pushes. This was not a real Immortal push.
This does not count. You're right.
Yeah. So we're both wrong right now. We both have potential to be right, though.
What if he goes for 2 and we're both wrong again? Like, we got a Nexus coming down here now. And in case, let's rewind here in case we have scrubs watching. It looks like an Immortal push, yeah, but what he did is he made the Twilight and then sent that probe to the expansion. So Zerg is basically expecting it all in this game should end in a few minutes, but instead it's not like that at all.
Look, he moved out at the right time with the right amount of units to even make it look like what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, he set the Warp Prism with
but it was never planned to be that. So, like, he undermade his gates, and he, you know, he's getting his third base, he's getting great upgrades, and we'll see, can these Hydras do something? It's coming up from 2 different angles.
Now, remember, you can't really retreat with Hydras.
No, you have to commit.
Not if you're off creep.
This is getting dangerous. Those Hydras can go kill that additional base, but he's got to be careful because if the party can catch half of this army, then he has the potential to kill it off.
He's going to go turtle.
Yeah, I think he has to, too. This is, you know, this attack by life is being controlled just right. And, oh my god, he got the Forge. He got the Forge before the +2 even finished Tasteless.
I think he might actually bust him here. I mean, the Sivers do not have a ton of energy. We got one Colossus out here, but...
Does he have enough force fields, though?
Yeah, he's going to take out the Cybernetics core. Not good if you're Protoss.
And you know what else? He has Mutas on the way. Parting was so clever. I was so smitten with this build, but Life is just like, no, I'm way too good.
Okay, well, he's going to lose all these probes. He will probably clean up most of the Hydras, but I mean, at what cost?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, his third base is under attack right now as well. I mean, we have a lot of Lings in there killing that off.
Effectively just, okay, now I think what we had was a Warp Prism came in with Zealots.
Yeah.
I think we might have missed that.
Yeah, actually he killed a ton of drones right there. But,
okay, but I think actually at this point in time, Zerg is this is like the point of no return.
There's Lings going up here as well. Well, you know, the real problem is that Life is switching into Mutas, and with one Nexus, you just don't beat Mutas. You really need 3 Nexuses to beat Mutas, even in Wings of Liberty. So that's a huge, huge issue. Wow, what a crazy game this was. You know, that Hydra attack, that little pincer attack going up both ramps at once.
Yeah.
The somewhat slowness of the Colossus to deal with such a Hydra attack.
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything we saw in this game.
Well, you know, it's so funny because it looked like we're going to have a very long, awesome game, and it just, boom, ended immediately. I didn't think the Hydra attack was going to do that well, but you could see Parting was sort of caught off guard, too, by the fact that he pushed the Hydras. Even you said, what is he going to do, push all the way across the map with the Hydras?
Yeah.
And you're like, I guess he does.
Well, you know, he got the Hydras in such a timely manner that he actually found a little timing where that would be effective. Imagine if the first Colossus was out before the Hydras came up the ramp.
Oh, sure.
You know, if those Hydras had been a little bit later or the Colossus a little bit quicker, that may not have worked out so well. But as is, this is the right move by Parting, doing this little counterattack. What he hopes is that he has enough anti-air that the Mutas can't actually kill his army.
Yeah, he's got a probe hidden here, but he's also not making money, so he can't make pylons anywhere.
Yeah, he has only 25 minerals anyways, so he literally has to kill every building of his opponent before all his buildings are gone, which it's pretty impossible if Life sends drones out on the map.
GG. All right.
Crazy game.
I didn't really think it was going to look like that.
They both showed so much brilliance in that game. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you see Party's build is tricky, but it did get completely deflected by Life.
Yeah. No, those Hydras, they did a perfect job. He danced them just right. He never overcommitted them, waited for force fields to run out, then got himself into a great position before any Colossi were ready. There's no splash damage to deal with Hydra Ling, and he made him burn a lot of force fields in multiple locations. So, you know, all that put together, suddenly the Hydra becomes an effective unit.
Nicely done. Well, what do you think Parting does now? Does he actually?
He just poured water down his back, didn't he?
Wait, I was.
Life just poured water down his back. Huh? Is Life a tree?
Plant? Oh, we almost had it.
Oh, I almost said plant. But
you should have gone with plant. Always.
He could be.
If we're gonna do that stuff, man, you always got to go with the broader term.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like all trees.
Is
are
he
plants.
a hibiscus flower?
No, plants are trees.
That's right.
If he was a plant, he would be a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Did you ever? I had a Venus flytrap.
I wanted one, but
they're pretty cool.
I never got one. I didn't have money.
But the thing is, it's much less epic. Well, the one I got is that you had to like feed them dead bugs or something. And then what happens is that sometimes the bug is too big for it, and like it can kill the Venus flytrap or something like that. So sometimes you have to like feed it a bug and then like massage its little mouth to make sure that.
Oh
I'm serious, man.
That's crazy.
This is when I was like, I think in 5th grade or something.
Damn.
But But he would be that. If life was any kind of plant, he would actually be one of those plants that shoots the fireballs that come out of the pipes in Mario.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's start this game.
I think we're ready for game number 2. Let's go.